Hello and welcome to the first video in our series on section 4.4 from our calculus text. This section deals with information that we can glean about functions from the second derivative. And so first want to introduce a couple of concepts for you about concave up and concave down behavior of functions. So I want to start by noticing that there are really two types of increasing functions. They're qualitatively different from one another. One of them would look like, say we've got an axis here, one of them would look like this, and the other one would look like this. So they're both increasing. The functions both go up as we read left to right, but we see that there's something different about the way that they increase. And so let me notice this, that what's happening is if I read left to right on this function, slopes are increasing. They're positive and they're getting more positive as I read left to right. Whereas on this graph, as I read left to right, slopes are decreasing. So they're positive, but they're becoming less positive as I read left to right. But there are also two types of decreasing functions as well, qualitatively different from each other. One of them would look something like this, and the other one would be something like that. Again, they're both going down as I read left to right, but there's something qualitatively different about them. So let me try to think about this here. Again, think about slopes. I'm not drawing very well. But you can imagine tangent lines here. They all have a negative slope, but they're becoming less negative. And so if something is becoming less negative, it's actually getting bigger. And so here the slopes are getting less negative, and so they're increasing in value. So slopes are increasing, getting bigger, whereas in this case, the slopes are all negative, but they're becoming more negative. So they're getting more negative, which means that they are decreasing in value. So in both cases here, slopes are increasing for the graphs on the left, slopes are decreasing for the graphs on the right. And so I want to define a couple of terms for you then over here. A function f is concave up on an interval if f prime is increasing on that interval, and a function is concave down C-O-N-C-A-V-E, concave down on an interval if f prime is decreasing on that interval. So what we would say for these two functions, use blue, these functions are both concave up, whereas these functions are both concave down. We can think about them the way that they're bending as well. So we might say that these two are bending upward as I read left to right, and these are bending downward as I read left to right. So we've got that divider between these behaviors. So I can be increasing and concave up, I can be increasing and concave down, I can be decreasing in concave up, I can be decreasing in concave down.